emergency video going over the supporter patch balance changes which have just dropped like half an hour ago. Now, quick disclaimer, the video that you're going to see, the gameplay video, the regularly scheduled one that's going to come out after this, is not going to be with this balance change that was recorded before this. But of course, we're not going to skip out on a chance to cover some of this stuff earlier rather than later. Now, these are the major changes. We'll just quickly go over the minor changes. Cricket buff, that's not a minor change in my book. That's a decent change. 1-2 to 1-3, that makes it cricket actually 2-4 in aggregate. Of course, it's not that simple. Cricket, definitely gonna be something. This actually changes how often I'd pick it up on first turn quite often. Dog went from, I think, 2-4, 2-3, 3-2. Either way, this doesn't change much because the ability is what you use it for, and later tier the abilities become more important. So, you know, cricket, definitely improvement. Dog, as it was. These are the new pets. And there's a new food as well, I think. Yes, so let's go over everything in the order that it's, you know, left to right. Something like that. Here, tier 3, we don't care what pack is added to. We're a weekly person. Before attack, copy food perk from one random enemy. So it's essentially a lower, it's a raccoon but it copies instead of stealing it. I think it's free value in terms of the stats. It's about average stats, so I think it obviously depends on the weekly, right? Tier 3, you're probably going to be most frequently stealing things like honey, things like garlic, and things like meat bone. Meat bone, most valuable thing to steal. I think it's worth it as a filler slot, and it's not the worst thing to scale, because if there's like later tier like melon and pepper and stuff, it's not so bad. But of course, it being random means you could get like a mushroom, which is not very useful on the hair, obviously. I think it's worth taking. So, but it's not like a meta defining thing or whatever. So, you know, it's good, I'd say. Good. Now, pigeon, this is a tier 1. Tier 1, 3-1 already, I'm thinking gonna be worth it. Free breadcrumb. Gives 1 per 1 attack. I'm thinking this is a must take. This definitely seems like a must take. Now, you already see people taking pets like Beaver. Now, Beaver is a 3-2 that on sell is 2 attack, but not directed. It's random, right? So this is 1 attack, but directed. So if, let's say, if you get something like a jellyfish, you can direct the attack to the jellyfish. You'll have a, you know, stronger unit as a result. I think the pigeons you're gonna be seeing. If it shows up in a weekly, I'm gonna be taking it and I'm gonna be enjoying it. Plus, not to mention any food trigger. I'm trying to think. I mean, there's a few, but it doesn't come to mind immediately. I'm sure there is. Dolphin buff? You're telling me the dolphin got buffed? Dolphin was already pretty strong. This is like a pretty major buff to the dolphin. Because it compounds, right? Because this is basically, because dolphin did 3 damage before, now it does 4 damage. That means when you take it, it already was pretty close to one-shotting everything that existed. That's crazy. And like, I'm trying to think of concrete examples, right? But just all the 4 health pets, all the pets like that you buffed from your first few turns, they're obviously going to be more one-shottable with this change. I mean, Dolphin was already a like consistent unit early on. This gives them more staying power as well. Dolphin Pineapple now deals 18 damage at level 3. Yeah, I'm thinking this is pretty strong. It might have to be reverted next patch, to be honest, but you know, we'll see how it is. They removed the mouse from Turtle Pack. They just reverted the change completely. I mean, the mouse was fine before, and the mouse was fine after. I just think they serve different roles. I mean, there's not much to say. The mouse just goes back to. I mean, I assume that this is the same thing, right? They reverted the owl on the mouse. Okay, so I'm trying to think. Does this make it better or worse? I think it makes it better overall. I think you also gonna see more owl usage, seeing as you get more bonus gold and free apple. Like, it's just back to where it was, which is consistent and good. This was the change that most people expected. I expected it to be this way, that to upgrade the Ox gives you even more attack. Wait. Yes. I hope for 1, 2, and 3 instead of 1, 1, and 1, but I guess they're scaling the times per turn already, so I don't know if you can do 2 at the same time. I don't think they've done it really like that before. I don't think it's not really worth, like, level 2 Ox maybe is worth it for 2 more attack levels. You're never gonna get level 3 Ox, that's completely useless. So, I mean, this is just slight improvement, no big deal, right? This is a pretty big, I think this is what? Already, it's a rework, because previously it was 3 tier 5 friends, 2 and 1, now it's 2 tier 5 friends, 2 and 2. So this basically means it's like, it's a level 2 penguin, but it's a tier 6, right? So that makes it hard to level to begin with. But it also means it's more beneficial already. And I think it's already pretty reasonable, because 3 tier 5 or higher friends is already pretty hard to build around if you're not intentionally doing it, right? If you're doing a Doberman team, maybe Tyrannosaurus is crazy on that. But aside from that, I think this just makes it easier to slot onto a team. Makes it more consistent, and it also, like, psychologically, this is completely unrelated to the competitive part of the game, but you know, if you don't feel like taking a Tyrannosaurus if you're not going to use it to maximum effect. So this makes that aspect less important. You know, all in all, I think I'd be picking up more Tyrannosaurus, because the additional scaling, you're already probably not going to scale 3 pets. So I think it doesn't actually cap it. It's overall going to be a buff. Hatching Chick, I think, is this a buff or not, right? It used to be +4, +2, and +1, or was it always +3? I'm trying to remember. Okay, it should be down here, right? The Hatching Chick. I'm gonna quickly check, because I'm not sure. I think it was +4. Yes, no, it was +4, +2, +1, and now it's +3, +2, +1. Okay, well, I mean, that's like a small change. I think it was too overpowered to just drop a Hatching Chick onto like a targeted unit, like Hatching Chick and Porcupine, for example. Yes, Porcupine. And that would just immediately get you a few free round wins before other people could catch up organically, or they'd have to get their own Hatching Chick. So yeah, I think this is there. It's still going to be pretty good. We already covered the owl. Back to how it used to be, pretty good. Okay, this is a rework. This is what I was saying, because Tabbycat before, it was if it gained a perk, give temporary stats, and I think that's just useless. You're not going to give multiple perks to the same unit unless it's going to get permanent effects, you know? And so, friendly gain perk, give 2 random friends +1 health until end of battle. Now, you're not going to keep this around long term, because it's temporary benefits to begin with, and the benefits aren't that strong. I'm trying to think. Obviously, we discussed the perks before. I think at 4-2 in stats, it's not great. It doesn't include itself in the buff list, which is also not great. I think this is like a momentum pick. Like, if it's there in the shop and there's a perk that you were gonna buy anyway, you would buy the Tabbycat and the perk, but you're not gonna buy the Tabbycat for the sake of the benefit itself. So all in all, you know, subpar, but not completely useless. We'll put it that way. And this was just changed to custom. I mean, and increased to tier 5. What was it before? A tier 4, right? Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? I'm not spoiling myself for the rest of these. Where is the change? Dolphin. Yeah, throws tier 3, and it's buffed in stats. Okay, well, the stat buff is, I mean, it reflects the tier change. It's still pretty low in stats for a tier 5, given the effect is kind of, you know, hit or miss, but Raccoon's always been a niche pick. Early Raccoon, not as much benefit, obviously, so I don't think it actually changes that much, because you weren't going to take a Raccoon early anyway. In fact, it's probably a downgrade because you would want to scale the Raccoon so it can at least be a useful unit when it doesn't steal something useful. Because it's like a momentum changer in the sense that if you buy it and it's immediately useful, like you steal a peanut, then you're gonna destroy someone. I'm talking versus, you know, specifically, right? But if you buy it and it does nothing, then it's just an empty slot on your team, which you could, I mean, when you're talking about tier 5, you're talking about a lot of crazy units that you could potentially buy instead. So I think it's actually worse, not gonna lie, because you could buff it as a tier 3 and give it some potential. But you know what? It's still a niche pick, as it always has been. They've reworked this. I think Cockatoo used to be a tier 5 or tier 4? I'm not sure. It used to be give 3 +2 +1 or something like that. I mean, we don't need to talk about the previous effect because we're looking at it now, right? Give 1 random Feint Frame +2 +2. That's I mean, if you're running a Feint team, that's fairly reasonable. I'm thinking of, like, especially if you're running this, like if you have an owl and you have a spare slot. This is like a, and if you're buying, selling it, I think it's a no-brainer. If the effect triggers, it's a no-brainer, and you're not going to keep it around really unless you're thinking about leveling it or multiple show up at once and then, you know, or waffle actually, which is not a bad idea. Because if you get it to like level 2, then it's actually worth it to buy waffle. It's probably a good value. So actually, I think this is a pretty reasonable buff. I could see myself buying more Cockatoo as a result. Okay, this is reasonable. This is definitely reasonable. It was already pretty. I mean, the attack gaining benefit was no one really bought the flying squirrel because of that. I felt like it was unnecessary to scale the squirrel because the benefit is that you get the toy back. You don't need to scale on top of it, right? So that's reasonable. Resummon the toy, but this level can be maxed. So it's just the level of the toy is kept with the flying squirrel. So you have a reason to level the squirrel because previously you didn't, right? Same thing with the ox. Although it's still kind of the case. Now you still don't need to level the ox in my opinion, but yeah, I think this is a fair. It's obviously a nerf, but it's a fair nerf, and I think you're not gonna give up on the utility of a flying squirrel. It's still gonna be useful at any point in the game. You're gonna want to keep it around and level it now. That much is for certain. Mosasaurus nerf, I think that's fair in tandem with the flying squirrel nerf. Mosasaurus nerf, I think it was what? 3, 3, 6, 6, and 9, 9. Of course, it's adjacent, so this effect is doubled, right? The one that you see, it's actually 4 and 6. I mean, even for a tier 5, that was pretty strong. Given that like Stingray effect when the toy breaks, it already gives the buff, so you're kind of compounding buffs with buffs sometimes. And you have a flying squirrel that's consistent. I think this is a reasonable buff. This art is kind of scary, not gonna lie. It looks demonic. But anyway. Robin, they changed how it works. Summon it and then give it egg perk. What's the difference? What's the difference? I actually need to read this. And give it egg perk. What's the difference? Is this just a semantics difference? What is the, because it shouldn't be a major change if that's the case. I'm trying to reason with it because sometimes I guess, is it like an order thing? So if you summon it and something else like gives it a perk, then you replace it? I don't know. I genuinely don't know what someone must have reported like a niche thing with this to then have this effect, but it doesn't change the gameplay of it much. I can tell you that much. Why is it italicized? I don't know why it's italicized, but anyway. Tier 3, so this is in the position of Garlic, right? In the same tier. Deal 4 damage to lowest health enemy on start of battle. So this is a level 1 dolphin effect. Like it's the same thing as the Jurian is the level 1 skunk effect, right? Which they added as well. Is this a good? I think this is like a no-brainer. Just 3 gold. You know, if you have 3 gold at the end of the turn, but I wouldn't go outright and buy it. Would I? Actually, now that I think about it, I probably would, right? It's worth having. But is it an auto pick? This is my thought. It's 4 extra damage, it's only going to be useful for a few turns, but those few turns are definitely key. I think in Versus, I think you take it. In Arena, I think I wouldn't take it. That's my 2 cents, because you want to take the lives away from your enemies in Versus. So these, like, cheap wins early on can affect the knock-on effects down the lane. Like, then they have less life to play with and they can't make as many risky decisions. There's a whole thing there. So I think it's worth it. I think it's pretty good. They just changed this to gain it on Star instead of on Feint. Is that better or worse? I think it makes it more consistent, right? And important, because it changes, like, for example, Surgeon Fish, which uses trumpets to activate the ability. Previously, you would have to order it so pets with cherry are in front of it. Now you can just put the cherry pets anywhere and have the effect trigger. I think it's a buff for the cherry. You would want to take cherries more consistently if there's synergies. If there's no synergies, there's no point taking, obviously. They just remove this thing from the pack. I think that's the things that they remove from packs and add to custom packs just means they're going to try and fix it or change it in the future. That's just a nerf. It went from 4 to 3. It's worse. If you're not gonna buy it intentionally. But you know what? It's still not completely useless, so that's fair. Now, we just covered completely everything. So most of this is, the same things I just read out. So another thing, they're gonna release the expansion pack next update compared to these claims. There's always going to be another bug to fix before the next thing. And toy order bug. Did I ever encounter the toy order bug? I don't believe so, but yeah. Looking forward to. Well, most of these bound changes are pretty straightforward, but I am looking forward to taking a pigeon because tier 1 pets are the ones you see most often. So hopefully a weekly includes some of these new ones. It would be nice to see. And yeah, it's Backpack Brain. Quick little impromptu balance change video, and hope you enjoy. Like, comment, subscribe, etc. for the algorithm. I don't know, I think I might be the only guy doing balance changes for Super Auto Pets. There might be like 3 other people, to be honest, so maybe this gets views, maybe it doesn't. So yeah, enjoy. See you all around.